So we're on the eve of skirmish season, and one of the coolest things that I appreciate about Blitz, especially during skirmish season, is it's so dependent on A, your local meta, and B, who actually shows up to the shop on that day. And as such, I want to talk my sleeper heroes for the format headed into skirmish season 11. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, my Flesh and Blood friends. Welcome back to the channel, and thanks so much for tuning in here on your Flesh and Blood Friday. And to be fair, on the eve of skirmish season comment, actually in some parts of the world, are probably already jamming some games right now, maybe even coming back from some games at the time that you're listening to this, and cheers. But I love skirmish season. Anybody who's been around knows I love skirmish season. A, for Blitz, but also just because the craziness that happens with local metas, who's not busy on a Tuesday afternoon, whatever it may be. I love it. There's a little bit of chaos in it, but it also just really brings out the fun, plus it's played in the agenda. Whatever. I could go on for hours about why I love skirmish season in all forms, but today we're talking about Blitz specifically and sleeper heroes that I've identified headed into the next 3 weeks. So basically, if you want to show up and try and do something different, not play Zen, not play Blaze, not play, whatever the talking heads are telling you. I know I'm a talking head too. I get it. But this talking head's telling you to go play something different and give it a shot. But these aren't just like cool decks to play. These are decks that I think are actually like honestly very good decks that you can show up and maybe the term is spike in armory with. So let's go ahead and get into it. Number 7 is my girl Chane. So I do want to give a special welcome in this video to all of my Dice Commando channel team members. You've already seen the deck tech I have for Rainbow Pummel Shiana, which has been up for a couple weeks now at this point. Now, Shiana didn't really get anything super special for her specifically in the Hunted because we didn't see specs in the Truest, and by the Truest sense, like they don't have the word spec, so that's real. Well, we did see the Arakni mask, which is kind of neat because you can actually shapeshift, so that's kind of cool. But going back to Shiana, we saw her do pretty cool things. She won. I mean, obviously she won the Gongai Game Skirmish, so there's inherent bias with that. Shout out to Billy. But she won some other skirmishes around the globe as well, and she's just functionally good. So it turns out that throwing 4s from any class, well, not any class, but throwing 4s from a lot of places with a pummel threat constantly is good. Being able to swing a weapon with up the ante is good. And oh my God, Florian spec? Are you kidding me? That's super good. Especially if you saw the Gungai skirmish, the finals, Billy opened on turn 0 with that, pitching his whole hand. Gross. How are you supposed to recover from that? Absolutely gross. Yes, Shiana can absolutely do things. She's just a very good functional flesh and blood hero. My next one is Arakni Web of Deceit. So this version plays the Blitz version of Mario.
It's me, Mario.
As the kids say, is very, very, very different from Mario. Okay, in CC. This is what I believe to be the best version of Web of Deceit in Blitz. Is a very 0-4 front pump dagger focused build. And in fact, in some cases, you may not even be getting go again. Now, of course, the idea is that, right? Because remember, he has to have stealth to do it, but you're focusing on your dagger because you have a lot of just 0-4s. You have cards that you can attack and reveal and mark. And there's a lot of options out there. Plus, of course, you still have, right, Mark of the Black Widow. You still have Kiss of Death. You have a lot of very good weapons, pun intended, at your disposal. And I do want to go ahead and link, I have a Web of Deceit, Deceitful Daggers, which is, again, available to team members already. It'll be coming out here in a couple weeks, so you can hold on for that as well. But if you're interested, you can click the linky link and go do the thing. But I believe that Web of Deceit is a very strong sleeper hero. Again, is he going to come in and take down 10% of the meta? I do not believe so. But this deck's pretty good. And especially if folks don't know what they're looking at, hence sleeper hero, I think you can sneak some wins in and probably do pretty well. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some Web of Deceit. I wouldn't be surprised if we get more than a couple Web of Deceit wins out of skirmish season. Number 5, I know, it's Dromai. So if you go and you actually look at the meta as it exists today, it's very, very, very aggro heavy. Now we just got the BNR, and things might shift a bit, specifically to like full fatigue. But I think both of those situations favor Dromai. So we are not seeing a ton of poppers in this format. And again, remember, you are teching for your local meta, many in these cases in Blitz. So Dromai can kind of just come and she can still board state. And she can kind of rake. And she can kind of throw dust ups and all the things. Do not underestimate Dromai headed into your skirmish season. You should still be packing poppers. Prism's a thing. But more importantly, Dromai's a thing. Because board state, it's a game. It's a thing. Okay? Do not underestimate Dromai. My number 4 is Vincent. I've been preaching this, I think, for 3 seasons now. I think Vincent's pretty damn good. If Vincent's able to, land a pummel on you, that was kind of the old way. It's like, oh, Vincent's not very good. If she can land a pummel, she does really good things. That's fair. But in the time since, she's gotten 2 pretty important pieces, right? She's gotten a 1-drop. She's gotten a 1-drop, right? The Eloquence token 1, where the heck it is. Of course, I can't remember in the minute because why would I? Right? But Eloquence Eulogy, Eloquence, whatever. She got that one, and then she got Call out of the next set, which is just dirty AF, or whatever the kids say these days. That card is so gross and dirty. Vincent is really, it was good before. Vincent just keeps getting better. Turns out, if you do a thing with creepers and you come in with a double pop off of a Revel in Runeblood, I don't know how anybody survives that in Blitz, right? Vincent can do good things, can do good, but can also die really, really, really fast. That's why I kind of love the design of this hero. I do. Now, number 3, we are talking Florian. Now, why this hero is so... Having it at number 3 is almost a disservice to him, except that I think it would be a disservice to the others more. But the flexibility of Florian, because when you think about it, in Blitz, when you sit down versus a Florian, what are you playing? Are you playing a pile of rune chance build? Are you playing a felling build? Playing a flex build that can go either way on you? What are you playing? How do you approach it? You don't know. You're going to sideboard maybe, why would you sideboard more than one AB? Fair enough. But if you don't just beat them down, and some decks don't have the capability to do so, I don't see how you beat this hero. So Florian, but with the flexibility, the build options, and just their mid-range capability to do what they need to do, he needs to do, Florian's definitely a sleeper hero. In fact, somebody probably out there is arguing that Florian's actually not a sleeper hero, which would be fair. Number 2 is Levia. So Levia did okay during Skirmish Season 10, and cheers to that. And to be fair, hasn't really gotten any tech. But what's changed is who she has to fight against. So Victor was not a great matchup for her because Victor could, block, mitigate the damage, get an extra card, and kind of just get her down pretty aggressively to the point where Levia just crumbles, right? Not there anymore. And the other Guardians that are out there, to be fair, we do have the Terra thing coming up with Crown of Seeds. We'll see how that plays out. But I think Levia can get stuff done. Shot around horror is just gross. And a Blood Rush Bellow in Blitz, that's a thing, right? Still has access to that. I really think Levia is going to do some serious work this season. But I don't think she'll be a popular choice. But I think, if we were to look at the total entries versus the total wins, I think Levia is going to do quite well. Now, my number 1 pick for sleeper hero is Verdance. I've put a ton of work into this hero. I really enjoy playing this hero. There's a lot of other people in the Flesh and Blood world that really enjoy this hero for a couple of reasons. First, feet. That's the most important one. Let's be honest, right? But no, all jokes aside, I think the main reason that people love Verdance is she's a combination of mid-range or even fatigue to a certain point of view and then combo, right? She kind of hits all those itches of those. She basically hits every itch except for aggro, right? Now, functionally, I've landed on, there's the 2 builds is like the Surgeon Aether build, and then there's, the Waning Moon, 1/4 Waning Moon build. I do, with some Decompose mix in, I do believe after trying them both that the, the 1/4 Waning Moon build to be the right one. And I do want to give a shout out as well. I have a deck up for this as well. I didn't mention that on Florian. I have a deck for Florian as well, and Verdance. So those 4 decks are available for folks now if you want to go check them out. And I think it's a very good deck, and I expect Verdance to be. I'm gonna say it now. I think Verdance is gonna be top 5 of the wins. We will see. That's very. I'm putting my neck out there. I know because it's Blitz season, but I think Verdance is gonna be very good within Blitz season. She's very strong because remember with Stormstriders in Blitz, we've seen it before. It's a kill shot. Verdance really only needs to do 12 damage, which isn't that hard to do off of 1/4 and then Moon on the backside, and then assuming they've got stuff to do. So we will see. We will see if the CYB fatigue Terras can outlast her, which is a possibility. But either way. So that is my list for sleeper heroes. I would love to hear your suggestions. Do you love them? Do you hate them? And then what ideas do you have? Leave them below. Let me know, folks. And then, of course, don't forget to, I'll channel my inner DM Armada, make the number go higher and do all that stuff. But thanks, folks, for joining. Have a great skirmish season. I'll see you next week when we get week 1 reports back. And go Commando.